It's past due for us to address veterans not getting the care they need after suffering an illness caused by toxic exposure. We can do that as soon as this week by passing the PACT Act. As a retired naval aviator, I know firsthand the sacrifice and hard work it takes to succeed in our military. Now, I knew I wanted to join the military from a young age. And after attending the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, making that choice was easy for me. That's the case for some, but not for everyone. Many more will say that this was the hardest decision that they had to make, putting families, school, careers, or all three through major changes in order to serve. This is a sacrifice for so many. And regardless of how someone comes to serving, what follows isn't easy. We spend years training to go to war. For me, that was training to fly off of and land on an aircraft carrier and put bombs on enemy targets. That's what I did during Operation Desert Storm, flying combat missions off of the USS Midway in the Gulf to deliver weapons on dozens of targets in Iraq and Kuwait. War is by its very nature dangerous. And flying airplanes in combat or conducting ground combat operations is very complex. You need to focus on completing the mission while also focusing on your safety and that of your team or your crew. There are many opportunities to be killed or injured. We all get that. The public understands that. But there are also silent killers that affected soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen who served abroad. No American soldier goes overseas and expects to be put in grave danger by their own military, but they were. We saw it in Vietnam with Agent Orange. We saw it in the first Gulf War with toxic exposures that we are still grappling to fully understand. And it happened again starting about 20 years ago when American soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan were breathing in toxic smoke from American-made burn pits. Clouds of smoke containing plastics, rubber, medical waste, and chemicals billowed, and though the stink might have been a nuisance, the true physiological damage would turn out to be much worse. We sent young, healthy, and highly capable American troops, all of whom volunteered, overseas. And when they came home, they got sick, and then they got sicker. Just like in the case of Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, whose namesake and story is behind the PACT Act. Our service members had put everything on the line only to return with severe illnesses due to bad decisions. And when those same service members battling rare diseases filed claims with the VA, they were met with a closed door. They were told that it wasn't a service-connected illness, so it wasn't covered. This is shameful, and it's unacceptable. And that's why this legislation is so important. Our military made mistakes, and thousands of Americans and more than 6,500 Arizonans have paid or are continuing to pay the price. We must live up to our solemn obligation to look after our veterans. And that's what the PACT Act will do. This bill will lower the threshold for veterans to receive benefits, expand access to VA health care, strengthen the VA's ability to process claims, and create pathways for future presumptions based on developing medical research, and much more. So together, Madam President, let's get this bill across the finish line for our veterans and their families. They deserve better from Washington. Thank you.